Coach, last season you guys made it to the state semis. As you went into this year, what was the mindset coming into this season?
Knew we had a lot to replace from that 2024 team, some exceptional players in that class. Knew we were going to be a young, kind of growing team and kind of how things were going to get settled. We always set our goals and expectation standards very high. That doesn't change.
Yeah, and you guys started off high as well, starting off 3-0, and then you had that tough loss to Lebanon. What have you seen from this team that you've really liked, especially with how young they are?
Yeah, I like our defense. I like our ability to match a lot. We have some really good players in some critical positions on defense, which allows us to match a lot of different systems of offense and that variety that you'll see. Kind of pride ourselves on defensive football in this group and trying to keep scoring totals down to where we feel like we can get enough or have enough on offense to be able to be victorious. We got off to a really good start with 3 games in a row and kind of keep building and finding a little bit of success, and then we hit a roadblock with Lebanon and played a decent game in some ways, but poor in execution in some parts on the football game, and those are things that we built on in our bye week as we get ready for Silverton.
What did you learn from that game, especially knowing who you're going to play on Friday?
Yeah, we didn't execute well enough on offense, right? We, whether it's penalties or not communicating well on the offensive line with the fullbacks and the tight ends and extension of that offensive line, like those were just moments where we weren't clean. Poor in some ways and moments that cost us the ability to punch in an offensive touchdown. I feel like one offensive touchdown at Lebanon game, we end up winning the game. But it's football. It's an imperfect game, and those things that we didn't do well against Lebanon, we really focused on the bye week.
What are you looking for in Friday's matchup, and what is it going to take to beat a team like Silverton?
You got to be mentally and physically tough. You got to be disciplined. You got to take care of the ball on offense. Hopefully you can sneak one and get a turnover on defense, finish offensive drives with touchdowns and not turnovers or 4 downs. You don't have to play perfect, but you definitely have to play clean. You got to play physical, and you got to match that intensity of that game.
1, 2, 3, dogs!